Okay, for starters, if you don't mind, give me your name, the spelling of your name, and the title you'd like to see in the air.
Okay. My name is Major Trevor Aldridge. I'm the number 2 pilot for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. That's spelled Trevor. Aldridge is Aldridge. And I fly on the left wing of the lead aircraft.
Excellent. So you've got some exciting news for our area. You're coming to San Diego on Friday, is that correct?
Tomorrow, that's right.
So what's the plan and what's this all about?
So this is part of America Strong, which is something we've been doing for the past few weeks, really taking this from coast to coast across the country to say thank you to everybody who has sacrificed during this pandemic, particularly focused on frontline workers, healthcare providers, things like that, who have been fighting on the front line of this new war that we're waging, this new battle that we're waging.
And you've done this, across the country. You're making your way west. What kind of reactions have you gotten so far?
So we started this in our hometown, which is Las Vegas, Nevada, really just to kind of support the local community, support the local city. And we didn't really know what to expect. Once we did it, we were absolutely overwhelmed with the response that we received. A lot of people are going through this by themselves, and others still are working harder than they've ever worked their lives. There's a lot of people that feel alone right now. There's a lot of people who feel distant or told to social distance. And that's tough, that's challenging. Our goal is to say, we're here, we're in this together, right? We're all in this together. We may be distant, but we're doing this together. And so we've plastered that on the side of our jet, in this together, to let people know we're here, right? We're unified. We may be separated, but we're together.
Excellent. And so just so I understand, the flights that were in like DC and other cities, that wasn't particularly your group, that was other Thunderbird groups?
So honestly, it's been a work across the Department of Defense. So it depends on the city. Different cities have had flyovers from different people. Seattle and Portland got flyovers from different units. The Thunderbird, there's only one Thunderbird team though. So if you've seen the Thunderbirds fly anywhere, it's been us. The Blue Angels have been flying over a lot of cities, particularly on the east half of the United States. And then we've also done a few missions together where the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds have flown together over New York, DC, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Atlanta, Trenton. We've did a few missions together where we flew together as well.
Got it. And so Friday, what can we expect to see?
So Friday, we're going to be flying about 150 to 200 miles over San Diego. We'll be down at about 500 feet, going about 500 miles an hour, about 3 feet apart from each other. What you can expect to see is 6 aircraft, all flying within about 3 feet of each other in what we call our Delta formation. So that's 6 aircraft that look kind of like a triangle. We call that our Delta formation.
The Delta formation. And will you be over certain hospitals or select hospitals? Do you know, have you narrowed those down yet?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have our route, and our public affairs team is working to publicize that. So what I would ask is that people look on official social media. I'm sure that we'll send it out to your organization as well once we get it. And the reason why we're publishing that low-level route is so that people don't feel like they have to congregate, so that they can see that we are flying a very vast area and that there is no need for people to gather to see us, and then they can identify spots where they don't have to be so close to come out and see us.
Excellent. And you know, this unprecedented pandemic, you know, what does that mean to you personally? What have you experienced or seen from friends or family, or as you've watched this go along over the last several weeks?
Yeah, you know, it really runs the gambit. You know, for our family, we've taken a down day. Our careers have changed a little bit. We haven't spent as much. We aren't doing air shows like we traditionally do. So from a professional level, it's definitely affected us quite a bit. But that's fairly minor compared to what a lot of other people are doing. Personally, we've spent a lot of time in our home with my wife and 2 boys, and they're 2 and 4. They're running around like crazy, trying to get rid of all the energy they have. And I know a lot of people can sympathize with that sentiment. But then you have the other extreme, right? I have family members who have had COVID. Fortunately, I personally haven't had any family members who have died from it. But it's hitting everybody different. And I just go back to, that's why that's why we're doing this, because everybody is sacrificed, right? I think it's important for everybody to know that we've all sacrificed and that you're not in this alone. We're in this together.
Right. We had a civil air flyover a few weeks ago, and just we saw that what a great reaction that was. So I can imagine when these medical workers see these jets, powerful jets flying over, how they're going to react to that. So I imagine they're going to be quite excited. For our viewers, I mean, you do something that is hard for anybody to relate to. How would you describe the feeling of being a pilot in your situation and being behind one of those jets like that? What is
Yeah,
the
so
experience like?
yeah, it's a great question. I've been fortunate enough to be able to do this for about 10 years now, flying fighter aircraft. I've been on the Thunderbirds for about 6 months. It's very different. It's not tactical in the way that I'm used to, but it is extremely challenging. Flying this requires a sense of extreme focus that you really have to train yourself to be able to have, right? I wish that I could say that I had the opportunity to look around and enjoy the moment, but really we're working as hard as we can to make sure that the formation looks good and that we're in a good position and doing the job for the people on the ground that we're trying to achieve. As far as the view, it's I would say a good way to kind of see from an insider's perspective, if you on Instagram, our team, AF Thunderbirds, if you follow them, you can see some pictures from that. My own personal Instagram, I post a lot of internal cockpit videos, so you get to see exactly what it's like from my view. For all of our flyovers, I've generally been putting out a video after the flight showing what it was like from our perspective, so that the people on the ground who are watching it from one view can see what it's like to be, from kind of the airplane looking down. And it also allows me to actually look around afterwards and kind of see what happens. So that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think pilots, generally have the reputation for being quite calm and just in the moment and not. I imagine that most of us would kind of freak out in a plane going that fast and that powerful. So it's just something that's pretty far out there. It's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't get here in one day though, and no pilot has, right? It definitely is. It starts in pilot training with a very steep learning curve. And learning how to deal with the stress and learning how to overcome situations where you might be task saturated, to where you have a hard time processing everything that's going on. And it works all the way through learning how to fly your specific airframe, learn the tactics, learn all that. When you get here, it's the same concepts, just applied in a performance mission set instead of a tactical one. So.
Your own personal message. What would be your own personal message that you might share to our local San Diego healthcare workers?
Yes. So our message is thank you. We, like you said, we know that everybody has sacrificed during this pandemic. Everyone has. Thank you. If you've made the decision to stay at home, if you made the decision to socially distance, if you made the decision to wear a mask, or you've been a nurse or a doctor putting your life on the line to fight this virus, thank you. We understand the sacrifice. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And also, there's so many people that are struggling with financial problems and the setbacks with that. And I'm sure they're going to be excited to see these aircraft flying over San Diego. Do you know approximately how much time you'll be in the area?
So like I said, we'll be running about 150 to 200 miles and for the total length. The entire route will take anywhere between 30 to 35 minutes. Once we publish our route, we'll have pretty much the exact time that we're going to start our route and the exact time that we're going to end our route, so that people can really, particularly for people who are working, they don't have to step outside and wait for hours, right? They can just kind of step outside 5 minutes later, okay, good, and then kind of get back to their work a little bit, a 5-minute reprieve for the day for most people.
Excellent. And also wondering too, San Diego's a big military town. Have you done any training or any military connection here?
Personally, I have not. San Diego is primarily a Navy town, and I'm an Air Force guy. There is some Air Force training that goes on there, but I have not personally spent any time in San Diego, unfortunately.
Great. And any other thoughts that, you'd like to leave our viewers with that they might, further enjoy tomorrow's flight or any thoughts you want to leave us with?
Yeah, we're incredibly excited and humbled to be able to do this, to fly this mission. to say thank you to the people of San Diego. To the people of San Diego, I just like to say thank you for all the work that you've done, for the sacrifices that you've made, and remember that despite the fact that we are staying distant from each other, we're still in this together.
Trevor, thank you so much for taking part, and we'll know you're second on the left of the point. Is that correct?
First on the left.
First on the left.
Sandwiched between the end and the lead.
Well, we look forward to seeing you flying over tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Sounds great, Mario. I appreciate it. Hey, Mario, I just want to say I appreciate you and doing this for us. Right? We couldn't. This mission would not be successful if we didn't have the support of the media helping publicize this, so people knew that this was going on. So I just wanted to say thank you for helping us achieve the mission of saying thank you to everybody who's gone through this.
That's great. Thank you so much. We're going to get the word out. We'll make sure everybody's up looking.
Thanks, Mario.